Hey folks, just got a question from Amy about Trilogy. Let's talk about Trilogy for a second. There's nothing like reading a great trilogy because you get through that first book and there's two more to go. You get to revisit this world. Now, Trilogy is different than a series. Think about a series like Harry Potter or Michael Connelly's Harry Bosch series. Um, we've got a grizzled veteran LAPD homicide cop, and we're going to every book is going to revisit the world through his eyes as he explores a different murder investigation. But a trilogy is different because a trilogy it's sort of like a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, so each book, the first book is the beginning, second book is the middle, and the third book is the end. However, each book must also have a satisfying conclusion. And this is the challenge of trilogy, is that it's different than a serial where there's almost a bit of a formula to it, a little bit. You know that we know that Harry Potter is typically going to start with the Dursleys, and then he's going to go to the, he's going to go to, oh boy, the name of that goddamn castle. He's he's going to go to Hogwarts, and then there's hijinks will ensue. Now, trilogy, there needs to be a satisfying conclusion, but there also needs to be there's a 3-act structure within each story. Okay, so your first book, you've got to have, a setup, and you got to have the payoff, and you got to do that with each subsequent book. The thing to remember is that even though your protagonist may resolve their dilemma at the end of the first book, that doesn't mean the dilemma doesn't persist in book 2 and 3. I'll give you an example. So in The Hunger Games, for example, Katniss, her dilemma is trust. Can I trust? Do you really love me, or are you just pretending to love me so you can kill me? And at the end of the story, at the end of the first book, she discovers that I think his name is what is his name? Deepaka. She discovers that he does love her. Does that mean that her dilemma of trust is gone? Absolutely not. She's going to struggle with trust in books 2 and 3. So the other thing you want to think about is you want to make sure that there is a reason for your trilogy to exist. All right, don't just write a trilogy because you like trilogies. Write a trilogy because this world holds enough to contain a trilogy. If you have an idea for a trilogy but find yourself not having a really satisfying conclusion to the end of your first book, what you may be doing is writing 1/3 of the story that really excites you. So you want to decide whether or not your story is large enough to actually be a trilogy. All right, that's what I got. If you have any questions, email me at al@lawriterslab.com. That's al@lawriterslab.com.